Hey, in this episode of Beekeeping, I want to discuss with you different methods to acquire honeybees. Stay tuned. Hello, welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. This is my apiary. I've got 4 active hives right now because we just introduced 3 nukes to a hive that I got last year from recovering from the wall. We call it an extraction, got it from the wall of a garage. So I want to talk to you guys about different methods of acquiring honeybees once you decide you want to get into beekeeping. Of course, the first thing you need to do is learn about beekeeping before you do anything to see if that's a hobby you want to get into, because you're going to get stung and you're going to have fun. Not in that order. But you need to set up with your supplies also, your tools for beekeeping and your hives for beekeeping. I'll cover those in another episode. And you can look at my archives on beekeeping, because I've already covered all the tools required for beekeeping and all the equipment required for beekeeping. In fact, instead of recreating the show, I'll just leave links down here so you guys can go ahead and click on them. No point in reinventing the wheel, huh? So the easiest way to get bees is kind of a little bit expensive. You can buy a whole hive already set up from a local beekeeper. He'll be happy to sell it to you for a fee. The cost varies from area to area, from beekeeper to beekeeper, and also you want to decide on what breed of bee you want. Yep, there's several types, there's several breeds of bees. Feral bees, you never know what you're gonna get. But bees that are raised, you know what you're getting with bees that are coming off of a farm that's been raised. So that's one way, is to buy a hive. The beekeeper will typically come over, set the hive up at night when the bees are all in bed, and then in the morning you'll unplug the hole and let the bees get out and acclimate to their new area, and then you have become a beekeeper. Another method of purchasing bees is you can also look for a beekeeper or a bee supplier in your region that supplies a nuke of bees. What a nuke is, it's just a little box full of maybe 3 to 5 frames. Sometimes you can get 10 frames, but 3 to 5 frames is typically what a nuke is. A nuke consists of a couple of frames of bees with brood. Those are the honeybees, the worker bees, and you'll have a cage in there that contains a queen. You'll want that. If you don't have a queen, you're not going to have a ongoing, viable, healthy source of bees, because she lays the eggs, and the honeybees, the little ladies, they raise the young and they grow the hive out. If you get a hive without a queen, you can buy queens separately. There are beekeepers that actually raise queens. Another way to purchase bees, which is a way, I purchased them in all 3 ways. I go to in our region, in Orland, California, they have a bee festival, a honeybee festival, and the people down there will raise bees and sell them. So I've been down there on a couple of occasions, once with my friend Ken Muhlstein, who is my mentor for beekeeping. And that's what you guys want to do, is hook up with a mentor, and also hook up with your local extension offices. They offer beekeeping classes for the local honeybee keepers. and get yourself surrounded by people with knowledge if you're new to beekeeping. Also, you can network with them about acquiring bees. So I get packages of bees from Orland. Now, a package consists of a box with a bunch of bees in the box, a queen that's in a cage in that box, and a big tin of sugar water to feed the bees while they're being stored and transported to your apiary. I've purchased 3 to 5 different packages over my time. So that's 4 methods of purchasing bees. Purchase the whole hive of bees, the whole colony, they're ready to go, just set and walk away, and then you're a beekeeper. Or set up your hives, get them all ready, and then introduce a nuke, which is 3 to 5 frames. Or you can introduce a package of bees into your hive that's already pre-set up. And if you have honeybees without a queen, you can package or purchase a queen. Now, there's different ways to find freebies. Everybody likes free because it's in their budget. However, you do need to purchase, new or used, a hive tools and hive setup, and of course a outfit to protect you from bee stings. I also keep EpiPens around me when I'm around the apiary, because I never know if I'm going to have one day an allergic reaction. At least I have safety measures in place to be able to jab myself in the leg, get into the car, get to the hospital, or call for help. I wouldn't drive myself. That would just be silly. So you can network with your community on your social media platforms like Facebook community pages and stuff. Especially right now, bees are going to start swarming. That is probably the easiest way to get honeybees for free, is you let the community know you're looking for honeybees. Have a box ready, get your outfit ready, so when you get a call, go to the location. And sometimes it just simply takes shaking the branch down into the hive. Make sure the queen gets into the hive, put the lid on it, set the hive, and set it till that night, because eventually all the stray bees will come in and go into the hive if the queen is in there. You want to make sure the queen is in there. And a good clue, if you didn't see the queen, typically the queen is in the middle of that clutch of bees that is hanging from a branch or a wall or a bench or a car or wherever you get them from. Typically the queen is somewhere in the middle. You get that into the box and you know that the queen's in there if all the bees start going into the box, because they can smell her. And then the other bees will start fanning their little butts out some chemicals to alert the rest of the bees that, hey, this is the new home. So they'll come marching in and they'll go home. The best method I've found to use is leave the hive till late that night. Go back after it's dark, because all the bees will settle down, they'll all be in home, and then you can plug that hole. I'd strap the hive to its base and a top, and then transport them back, whether in your trunk, in your back seat. I wouldn't recommend the back seat. And I would not recommend beekeeping bare butt naked either. Don't do that. I've never done that, but it's just a warning, you never know. There's the main hive. Another method of catching bees is, set up a bait hive. A bait hive is just one box, a super, or a deep, a brood chamber. They have different names. It's full of frames. Typically, you would want to have a frame full of honey, and then you want some lemongrass essential oils, and put some in a cotton swab inside the hive. Put some around the entrance of the hive. What that lemongrass essential oil does is it mimics the odor that a queen puts out, so it attracts the attention of feral bees that are in the area. So if you know of an area where there's honeybees, typically a big bee colony will split. That's what they do. It's a healthy process that makes the colonies split, grow more colonies. And then you can probably, hopefully, attract one of the colonies that have swarmed. The scouts will go out, scout will go in, investigate, go back to where the hive or the swarm has left their mother hive and then clung to a branch or whatever. They'll let them know they found home, so the scout will direct everybody, including the queen, to the new home. And then they'll set up housekeeping. That's another easy way of getting free bees. And of course, there's also another method is I was out working one day doing a building project, and I heard this noise right over my head. I knew right away what it was. It was a swarm of bees. They're heading to a new home. So I ran in, grabbed my camera, and I followed them out to where the noise was, and it's in a tree out here about 200 feet behind my barn. And that was 8 years ago was when those bees went and habitated that little hollow in that old tree. Well, they're still there. I just checked on them yesterday when I went and looked for mushrooms up in my backyard. And I saw them, they were active, so that colony is still there after 8 years. So I have gotten bees from a tree that a limb broke off. The residents told me about the hive, and so that's why I said it's good to network with your community and let your community on your community Facebook page know that you're a beekeeper so they can contact you. And I went over there. One of the easiest, and this is called an extraction, one of the easiest extractions I have ever done. Free bees, the tree limb was right next to the road. I went, set the hive up, went and gathered the comb, because the tree was laid open, wide open, exposing the whole hive. I wasn't sure I got the queen or not, but I scooped up the bulk of the bees, got them in the hive, strapped it down, set it on the ground, came home for dinner, went back that night, and all the bees had went from the tree limb into the hive, so I knew I had the queen. So I rehomed them over here. So that's another easy method of getting free bees, but that's called an extraction. One of the more difficult extractions that you can get for free bees is actually getting them out of the wall of a building. That's really difficult. So that wall, they were putting new siding up on that wall anyway. So they gave me permission to actually cut it out and expose the hive, and that was a massive hive that I was able to extract. I got free bees, and then the blue hive here is the new home for that extraction. So there's several ways of getting honeybees. 4 ways of paying for them, and then about 4 or 5 ways of getting them for free. Bait hive, swarms. You can do a couple of different types of extractions. Freebies, network with your community, also network with your extension office, get wise on beekeeping. I bought me a book called Beekeeping for Dummies. Yep, really helped me out. It got me introduced to beekeeping and then all the nuances of beekeeping. Well, I'm Jerry Hansen, your host. This is Pine Meadows Hobby Farm in the apiary. We're a frugal homestead tucked high in the Cascade Ranges of the Pacific Northwest. Please stay tuned to more videos. You could do that by subscribing, clicking that bell icon. That'll alert you to new videos as I upload them. Give us a thumbs up. Click that share button. Sharing my videos on your social media platforms really helps us out a lot. Also, check out my other 2 channels I created. One is on all my art that I've been doing. I'm getting ready for a big art show coming up. I got to take it down to the gallery the next week. And then also I'm networked with my neighbor who has elephants, rhinoceros, bison, ostriches. He's got tortoise. He's got monkeys. He's got a variety of different cats. And these animals have been in the movie industry, commercials. And then one of them belonged to Michael Jackson. Yeah. I'll leave a link. Tune into that show. And please be sure to subscribe to that show, because all the revenue from that show over there goes to help those animals. Trying to animal preservation. Yeah, just check out the show. We're building it right now. It's only got a couple of videos to introduce the channel right now, so check it out. Anyway, be safe, always be kind. We'll see you guys in my next adventure. Bye-bye now.